My name is Hemal Wickramasinghe. I'm 20 and I'm currently a first year student of Monash University, Malaysia. I studied at St.Thomas College, Mount Lavinia, and I sat for my local A-levels in the year 2013. Due to the high competition of getting into the state universities, I applied for universities abroad and I got accepted to several of them, and Monash, Malaysia was one of them. So why did I choose Monash, Malaysia? Well, to start off, it's ranked among the top 100 universities in the world, and also it's an Australian degree which is recognized globally. So I think taking into consideration those aspects, I think Monash was the wise choice that I made. One other thing, important fact about the uni life in Malaysia is the fact that you're able to interact with students from all over the world who come to study there as well as who come on the exchange program. And I think this is very important in a student's life. So I'm currently a first year student at Monash University, and I'm studying Electrical and Computer Systems Engineering, which is a 4-year degree program. And Monash has created such a lot of opportunity for students on campus itself. For example, they organize several robotics competitions. They have the annual eco-shell racing tournament. So all these give you the opportunity to work in teams and work with people in the various engineering disciplines at Monash, which ultimately makes you a better person. In Malaysia wasn't quite that much of a challenge for me because I already knew a few seniors who were already in Malaysia. But Monash takes the time and effort to make sure that every student is comfortable. They, for example, the orientation week they organize, they have a few events so that you mingle around with the students, and they help you out with your documentation, and they tell you about where you can go, what you can eat, and how to get on with students on campus. And the counselors also have a session with you where they talk about how you can settle in, about how managing stress, and so on. So in that sense, I wouldn't worry too much about settling in. And it's one thing is you're not that far away from home, and the culture and the weather is pretty much similar to Sri Lanka. So adapting to that is not an issue at all. So a little bit of advice to the students who are planning on going abroad. Well, one thing is you have to make sure you like what you want to do. So take the time and think of what you exactly like to do. Talk to the people around, talk to your seniors, and find out what they think about the degree. In my experience, of course, engineering is not an easy choice, but it's interesting at the same time. So at the end of the day, it boils down to how much you like what you do. So another tip would be, of course, to focus right from the beginning. Because the thing about Monash is they trick you by having a low entry level. So what students take for granted is that once you're into Monash, you'll graduate at the end. But the thing is, when the exams come close, that's when the students actually feel the pressure. So another tip would be to just focus right from the beginning, and I guarantee you that you'll be fine. But have your fun at the same time. A little bit of advice on the application process. I would say to apply as early as possible to avoid any disappointments at the last minute. Especially you don't want to miss that orientation week that Monash organizes. I've heard about so many students who try to do the application process on their own and have failed to get their visas on time, and as a result have actually missed 2 weeks of not only orientation but 2 weeks of actual coursework, which was a real problem for them. So in that sense, I think I'm really grateful for Advocate, Hiromi and the team. They've really done a good job. It just took all the pressure away from me, because from the application to my courses to the accommodation was all handled by Advocate. And I got my visas on time, and I was able to go for the orientation week, which I think made a huge difference to my life, because orientation week is where you really make your friends, and that's where you really make the connection to that university. So I would say just make sure that everything's in place, and I think Advocate is a wise choice if you're planning to go ahead to Malaysia or any other university for that matter.